Hello, and thanks for mathing with me today. In today's video, we're going to be finding sums by adding integers. To add integers, we can use a number line. All real numbers can be represented on a number line, so a point on the number line associated with each number is called the graph of that number. Therefore, this point here is the graph of -4, and this point here is the graph of +2. When we subtract positive numbers, we move left on the number line. And when we add positive numbers, we move right on the number line. Let's use the number line to find the sum. Number 1 says 2 plus 4. We start by graphing the number 2 on the number line. And since we're adding a +4, we're going to move 4 places to the right from 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This brings us to the number 6, which means that 2 plus 4 is 6. Let's try the next one. Number 2 says 3 plus -5. So here we start by graphing the number 3, and since we're adding a negative number, we're going to move left on the number line, 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That brings us to -2. So 3 plus -5 is -2. Number 3, we have -6 plus 4. So again, we start by graphing the number -6. And in this problem, we're adding +4, which means we move to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. And that gets us also to -2. So -6 plus 4 equals -2. Here are some problems for you to try. Use the number line to find the sum of these 3 problems. Pause the video and try them on your own. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you got -1 plus -2 equals -3, 2 plus -4 equals -2, and -2 plus 5 equals +3. Another method for helping us to find sums of integers is by using counters. To do this, you want to assign either 2 different colors or 2 different symbols, one each to positive and negative. In this video, I'm going to assign positive counters to be a green plus, and negative counters are going to be a pink circle. You can pick whatever symbol, or if you want to use color, that works for you. Let's use these counters to complete the problem 1 plus -1. So in this problem, I see that I have a +1. That's going to give us 1 positive counter. And I have a -1, which is going to give us 1 negative counter. Notice that I have one of each. So what we want to recognize here is positive and negative counters add to be 0. If I have a +1 and a -1, they undo each other. And we can use this relationship whenever we are adding positive and negative integers. Let's try some examples using counters. Remember, I'm using a green plus for positive numbers and integers, and I'm using a pink circle for negative. In number 1, we have 2 plus 4. So we have 2 positive counters, and then we have 4 more positive counters. So what we want to do is essentially add up all our counters, right? In this case, we don't have any that add to be 0 or undo each other. And so we just have the answer 2 plus 4 is equal to 6 because there are 6 total pluses. In number 2, the problem is 3 plus -5. So we start with 3 positive counters, and then we have -5. So that's -5 or 5 negative counters. In this example, we have some operations that undo each other, right? Each of these is like that example we just did. A +1 and a -1, they undo each other. And so there's 6 of our counters that are undoing each other. Because of this, we're left with -2 counters. So 3 plus -5 equals -2. Let's try one more together. In this next example, we have 6 negative counters. And we have 4 positive counters. In this example, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of counters that undo each other, and we're left with 2 negative counters. So -6 plus 4 is equal to -2. Now it's your turn to try a couple examples using counters. Pause the video and use counters to find the sums. All right, hopefully you were able to pause the video and use counters to answer these questions. Number 4 is -1 plus -2. That's going to be equal to -3. Number 5, 2 plus -4. That equals -2. And number 6, -2 plus 5 equals +3. In this video, my hope is that you learned 2 methods for adding positive and negative integers. Thanks so much for mathing with me today.